Mòjo the Night Lord wants some help with his progression. Alright, let's see. We got a 240. He's at 770. Alright. Ooh, 3 dark totems. That's nice. Locked for... Still don't know why that's a thing. But it's locked. Looks like everything is legendary. Except for 1 pendant. Which is probably like 966, I would assume. Or maybe even 996. Okay, so you want to stay on top of your daily symbols. Seems like Lecheline is falling behind. Yeah, 19 and 10 is kind of a big difference. So I'm not sure how Dream Defender is for Night Lords. Not 100% on that. You're saving up coins? Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember it again. See how this is like every time that's the first thing I get to, and then I immediately forget. What else do we see? Critical rate. You're at 91, so with decent sharp eyes. Oh! Alkai, my dude. Yo, thank you very much for the sub, Alkai. Welcome to the Scartards, my dude. Enjoy your beautiful emote. 50% off song requests when you do. And a beautiful badge next to your name now. Working on that Legion progression, badge-wise. Alright, let's go back to macro here. So he's at 27k stat. That sounds pretty good. Let's look at my little grid that I made. 27k stat. Alright. Well and good past that thing. So we're gonna expect his Legion to be at least 6k and working towards 8k. He's definitely an attacker in Lucid, I would say. And he's currently working on trying to perfect his gear. Wow. That's what I have on my list now. That's what I'm going to be hoping to see. If anything is really off balance for this, then that's probably what I'm going to be advising on to change. Yeah, at least 6k to be endgame and mid-pull for sure. Well, late game you want to be until 6k, and then endgame you want your goal to be 8k. So that's what we're going to be comparing to see if that somewhat matches up. All right, so here we get into the actual. So we're looking at critical rate. So with decent sharp eyes, that goes up to 100. Ignore defense. What kind of increase do Night Lords have? I know Night Walkers have a skill. Night Lords. Is it just the boost node? Or do you have other buffing? Because 89 isn't super high, right? If you don't have anything extra. Oh, you have a different secondary? Okay. Give EU 1 droid. Hell, dude, if you make a petition, I'll sign it, okay? Okay, anything else that stands out? I mean, this is a nice range, of course. The boss damage. I'll check the bossing items later. Your percentages will probably be different. 245 Star Force. Okay, so that's probably because of all of the event rings, right? So you're missing out on like 60 Star Force there. Possible 60 if you have everything at 20 stars. 24, nice. Double prime, gotta keep. Makes sense. 33 on a Cosmos ring. Oh man, that's gonna hurt to replace. Yeah, that's gonna stay with you for a while. Let's see. Superior. It's also very nice. Is at 13 star. Alright, we'll keep that in the back of our heads. And this one's what, 24 with 15 all. That's pretty good. Bad RNG stat. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, since it's Monday, you can also re-roll your Chaos Rings, guys. Remember that? If you haven't done that yet. Let's see, gold, Richie's handkerchief, 76 luck. That seems like a good flame. Let's see, exclamation mark. Flames. Bam. What is that, 40? 140. Control F. Luck. 140. 48 for level 6, and then a double is 24. So that's 72. What do you have? 76. Oh, so you have more than a tier 6, 1 and 2. That's pretty good. So this is 3 lines of luck. Okay. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, like if you're min-maxing, I'm not sure if something like high 50s luck plus 6% would be better or something. But that's like flame min-maxing for later. For now, I'm pretty sure that the big flat amount where 3 lines affect your luck is probably pretty good for now compared to everything else you have. Oh, there we go. The pendant that was unique. We prophesized it. We have foreseen. It is indeed a 996. So yeah, that's 24% luck on unique. So you're probably going to keep that for a while for sure. 24 here. So this one's actually as good as this one, even though this one is double prime and legendary. Interesting how that works, right, chat? 23 here. This one's 11 star. Okay. Oh yeah, let's look at the flames as well, even though the flames on these are kind of irrelevant because flames on Galax are just shit tier. So 11, 10 luck. Yeah, that's probably it's probably okay. So 11 stars is quite low. We'll see what kind of other stars you're at. 17 on a monocle. Nice. 23 with a shit top line. Cool. Superior 13, that's 30, nice, and 24, okay, that's good, good, good. 11 on the shoulder with 23. You check the list, you will see that Galax, anything Galax is not in these lists. So all of the Galax items are not boss items, which means that when you're looking at the tiers for powerful flames, you're looking at these stats, 1 to 4. If it's not a boss item. If it's a boss item, you're looking at 4 to 6. And for Eternal Flame, 5 to 7. You have very low chance of going below. It's possible, but it's going to be shit tier flames. Or like 2 to 4 and 3 to 5, something like that. For powerful and eternal, if it's not a boss item. Also, you're not always going to have 4 stats that get changed. Where does it say that? Control F. 4. Can we go to the first one? Number 1? No, we're just gonna start like somewhere in the middle of the Ctrl F4. Yeah, so you can get 1 to 4 bonus stat lines, and on boss equipment it'll always be 4. So that's a really big difference. That creates just ×3 the amount of ways that you can get fucked over. Okay. Yeah, the table is different only for weapons. Weapons have a completely different table, but those tables are included here as well. Yeah, but for items, you just get lower tiers. So while this flame, 24 luck flame on a superior Galaxy earring is actually pretty good. Oh, by the way, you can flame shoulders, okay? There was actually a test. Who in the chat got it? I was just testing you guys. You thought that flat stat was better than percent? Well, optimally you want to have both. But if you had to choose, then you would want to go full out on flat, yeah. Okay, Zelpix got it. Z got it. Okay. All right, 2 people got it. Good job. Okay. So you go for 65. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I think ideally you would want to go for high flat amounts and some percentage. Like, that's like the ideal flame. If you can get a little bit of weapon attack on top of that, that would be nice. But you would almost want the... So here's the ideal flame, right? Full main stat plus bonus stat, percentage stat, weapon attack for you. That would be the ideal flame. So if you had to choose, you would have to like throw it into a number cruncher to see what would specifically be better. The best way to do it is to just unequip your weapon and flame it, and get other stats, and then just see how much range increase it gives you, and then go from there, and then like compare with your own item. Basically, that's the best way you can do it if you're gonna be re-rolling flames. So that's what I would advise to you. But because it always depends on your specific personal situation. 13% damage and an 8% crit damage, so that's really good. Of course, 2-line crit damage is better, but this is pretty much in line with everything else, and this is like one of the better ones. So 11 star on the shoulder. So do you have plans? So I noticed that your Star Force isn't insanely high. Do you have plans on, are you going to be trying to improve what you currently have? Or are you going for high star level 150 and then transpose in? Like, what's your goal? Because if you have 2 line, then the second option is probably desirable because you won't have to like reroll 3 line item. Once you start re-rolling for 3 line, then that second option becomes very annoying because you lose a lot of value there that you have to completely re-roll. Dreadstar in the shoulder went from 13 to 11 stars in 2 bill. Oh, that sucks. Well, for the shoulder, you could do Madman Renmaru every day and then try to get Sengoku shoulders and then Star Force Sengoku shoulders until you get high stars and then transfer hammer them into the Absolab shoulder. It doesn't have to be a thief shoulder. It could be any job's shoulder that you can transfer hammer in. So there's no job restriction there. That's why those are very valuable. So if you're thinking about that second option, then that could be something that you can do every day. Is something that you could do is go kill kill Madman Renmaru every day with as much drop rate. So similarly for the gloves, you would have the Abyssal Root gloves that you can buy in the black market in Magnus's castle. For the shoes, you could get the Abyssal Root shoes that you can buy in Root Abyss. So that kind of depends on what you have. So this one's only 13, and you have this potential. So you could choose like, when I'm gonna upgrade my glove, I'm gonna go for a 22-star root glove, and then I'm gonna transfer hammer it, and then I'm gonna re-roll it into like 16% crit damage. That would probably be like a move you do in like one go. How many stars would you suggest for me to go for on items? So that depends on how much money you make, like on average. So for some items, 16 and transfer. No, 16 is typically 16 is when you transpose. That's typically why you do that. If you're going to transfer, then you want to go as high as possible. How high should you go? That depends on how many hours a week do you spend playing this game. Like if you literally play 60 hours a week or something, then go for 22. It's pretty easy. If you play like somewhere between like 20 and 40 hours, I'd probably say like try to aim for 20, maybe 21. But probably for 20. And then if you play anything less than that, like 18 or 19 would be good goals to go to. You got to kind of like pick a threshold what is realistic for you. How much is it going to cost? How good is your access to these games? Like you don't want to make it so that you're going to take like 3 months to get one item to that point, because that's not really time efficient. Like let's say you could get one item to 18. Or let's say you can get one item to 22, then in the same time you can probably get like 10 items to 20, and you could probably get like 100 items to 18, you know? Because there's like a exponential difficulty, because way more booms, way more difficult to get that many pieces, odds, waiting for events, all of that like goes into the equation. So it kind of just depends on how much money you have that you can allocate to this, and how quickly you want to see results in your upgrading. So I would say 18 for like a casual player, 19 if you just have bad luck and you just want to give up basically. Otherwise, go for 20 or higher. 22 is really if you're trying to like min-max for endgame. So kind of choose between 18 and 22, I guess, where you would fit. Yeah, and then just pick the one that you think that you're comfortable with. If you're just starting on one item and you immediately can get it like to 19 and it feels really good, then keep that as a standard. But remember, there's averages. So just because it works for one item doesn't mean it's a guarantee that it's going to work for all of your items. Yes, and you have to recube. So probably what you want to do is wait. So first save up money, then come up with a plan, then spend that money during a Star Force event, then save up money again, then wait for a DMT cube event, then transfer hammer your item and recube, and try to make it so that you don't lose any stats first of all, and then move on to all the other items that you transfer hammer over, then save money again, then wait for another big event or until you have a certain amount of money, and then try to re-roll everything into 3 stat. For you, that won't be as bad because your items are all two line now, so your step 2 where you transfer hammer them and recube them will be like net gains basically, because of the main stats going with that number. That's going to be kind of up to you, Macro, what you think is realistic, and whether or not you feel like, hey, let's say that you want to eventually just get everything as high as possible, then just go like one item at a time and just go crazy on one item until you get it and then move over to the next one. If you have that kind of patience, that's really good. That's not realistic for you, then maybe aim for 20, I would say. If you still, because it seems that you can still, that you play this game a decent amount of time. I can tell from like how far you're already into the game. If I had to guess, I would say that getting things to 20, and then if you have like cojones, try to jump for that 21. Personally, I don't think with how much I play, I deserve 22-star gear. I don't think that's realistic for me. So I either settle for 20 or 21 depending on how much money I have at that point and how easy it is to replace that item, basically. Don't tell them that we will find you. The cape is 17 and 23. Nice, so this is keeper. So for this one, it's basically the same idea. You go either for the enraged Zakum cape from Chaos Zakum, and then get that one to high star force, transfer hammer over, and then re-cube. Or you go on high on this one. Again, kind of this, so the same story. So the Abyss, is it Abyssal? I think it's Abyssal. So Abyssal Root shoes in Root Abyss, the Abyssal Root gloves in Magnus Castle Black Market, the Sengoku shoulders, and for this one you can do the Enraged Zakum cape. And that's basically all of that. This one's... So, yeah, I think I touched on that last time when you said it. So this one is 21% luck with 9% L-stat, which is of course good compared to your other gear. If you're ever going to think of 3-lining things, then this is number 1 that you do. Because the heart has the least junk lines, so the least lines that give you absolutely nothing. So your odds, compared to how much money you spend to getting good potential, are the best for the heart. So if you're ever thinking of perfectly 3-lining everything, your heart is like numero uno to do. So let's say an item is easy to replace, you will want, and you have a lot of money, you will want to Star Force without safeguarding, because if you do it with safeguarding, on average you spend twice the amount, but you blow up on average 4 times the amount of items if you want to get to 22. So if you have a lot of replacements and you have the time, then you just keep going without safeguarding, because you'll just save money. Because safeguarding is, like, every safeguard attempt is way more expensive. If you cannot at all replace the item, then you probably want to stick to 17 or maybe to 18, depending on certain situations, or you kind of like go buy items that have similar stats and those are kind of your replacements, or you go with another item and transfer hammer it in. That's basically why some people would do that. But the decision for the shoulder and the glove is now, and then the decision for the shoe and the cape can be later. So this one's only 10 star. Yeah, so I would feel really bad to say invest a lot of money in these, since the future of badges right now is a little unknown. I'd definitely try to get some more Star Force in these when we have like a 5, 10, 15 or something. Try to get them at least to 12, 13 star and with everything else. So that should be a pretty cheap upgrade and you'll get some all stat. If you have some if you can get a replacement from now from the event, I would say buy the replacement and hang on to those. So maybe you can get some compensation when they replace them. And then eventually go for 17 and keep it there. But that's not any kind of priority. This is good enough for now compared to all the other stuff you have. Sensei, I'm sure there's other medals with more all stat that you can get. I think Antelian Guardian is like 12 all stat. But yeah, we're getting pretty min-maxy territory here. Like one better flame on one other item is already more important than getting the other medal. So medals is... they're all really close, so don't worry too much about that. 17 here, nice. I see you got 4 attack and 6% all stat, but no flat luck here, right? So I think this would be a good test case to see if you replace the flame on this guy with just flat luck to see how much that changes the damage that the hood adds. If you have some money lying around, so you can test this for yourself to see what is good and what is bad. Okay, and the potential is fine, of course, for now. Okay, we're getting into CRA category here. 17, it's fine. 60 luck seems okay. 2 line, good. 17, 21, and 60 again here. Nice. Oh, that's where your crit rate is coming from. Okay, okay. You got 12% here and 21% attack. Yeah, that's fine for now. So you actually have the utility from the crit rate. That's pretty nice. And then 21 and 9% in like feels bad, man. but it's still 2-line. Okay, mobbing secondary is 40 boss, 60 IED. Okay, so you know about the WSE optimizer macro, exclamation mark WSE in the chat. For weapons secondary emblem, basically what you throw in here is how much percentage attack you have, not including all of the percentage attack you get from any of those three from the WSE. You do the same for base damage, so that's basically what it says right here, damage bonus. And then base IED, if you don't know what that is, check in the top left here and go to the IED calculator, where you can basically add in all the sources of IED you have. Make sure you catch all of them. There's really a lot of them. And then this will say how much your actual IED is, and then you can throw that into the calculator here. And display top just means how many options do you want to see. If you put in 100, then it just displays 100 options for you here. So you can see like number 1 gives you this much percentage final damage increase, and then which is what, 76, right? And then number 100 gives you 72. So those are really close to each other. So it's not like, okay, I have to get this one because this one is the best one. I mean, you can go, if you go to like number 10, it's literally 1% final damage less. So that's already really close. So if you click that, it'll collapse. It'll tell you for your weapon, you want to have 13, 10, 10. For your secondary, you want to have boss, attack, boss. And then for your emblem, you want to have 1 line of ID and 9 attack, 9 attack. So that'll show you what the optimal distribution of stats will be between those 3 items, which is important if you want to min-max out. So, where do you get percentage attack besides WSE? Yeah, so Magnificent Soul, Echo, and that's the weapon. Yeah, but it only what matters is it's not the potential, because you're trying to see what is the best potential I can get on these 3. So you count everything except for the potential. So everything else counts that's on the item. So yeah, Soul and Echo are the most important ones. Some classes have some skills that gives them percentage attack, so you have to add those as well. You don't count Echo since it's only 40 minutes. No boss fight lasts over 30 though, so you do count it because you'll always have it up during a boss fight. The most important thing is to maximize this for during endgame bosses, so you do want to count Echo because there's always going to be someone with Echo up. So yeah, for base IED, use the ID calculator, add everything manually, make sure you don't forget any. Yeah, and then it'll show you what the optimal distribution is. So mobbing secondary, your weapon is 17 with 23 and 10% luck. Nice. And you got crit rate here as well. Okay. So what I'm seeing is a lot of crit rate in your potential that will eventually be gone, right? Like eventually you won't want critical rate on your soul, right? Eventually, not. And you won't want critical rate on your, where did you have it? On your emblem, right? Yeah, eventually that'll be gone and be replaced. So that is 21% crit rate that you will be losing. One you can lose and you'll still be at 100 because of decent sharp eyes, but the other 20 will have to come from somewhere else. So you can get either has to come from your Legion, from Link skills, or from the Legion grid. So member bonus, grid bonus, or IA, or Link skills. For opportunity. Basically, you're just going to be puzzling always between your grid bonus, your member bonus, your Legion, and your Link skills. You're going to be puzzling to get that 100% crit rate. And then if you still can't do it, then your legendary inner ability could even save the day. But yeah, other than that, great weapon. There's great stuff for now. Everything is really balanced. Like all of your gear is really like on the same level. So that's really good to see. You got your totems. That's really cool. Jump +2. Oh, nice. Okay, Link skills. Do. So there's 5% damage to gain here on the DA. DA is pretty easy to train as well. So I would say that one is probably worth to increase on. Solus level 3 is also good. We'll see in a little bit. Okay, so this is where your shit is at right now when you're training. Wait, does this count? Oh, you're using the Legion thing? Oh, that's brilliant, dude. What a look at this genius. Look at this Tetrising genius. He put the big Legion piece here. so that he doesn't have any overflow. What a god. What a fucking god. Yes, but you do want to get to that level 6, to that 6k Legion, right? So you can increase the max. So that's going to be number 1, okay? Is get 6k Legion. And in getting to 6k, try to get some characters that are close to 210, 2 to 10, so they can get those level 3 links as well. So that's going to be a win on the link skill, a win on the amount of, on the space in your grid, and a win in critical damage, for example, which will increase your damage. So I think that's where you're going to have the most win. Do it. Basically, it's 2k, 3k, 4k, 5k, 6k to add an extra line on the outside. How do you read the cube cost numbers? The low number is the expected cost when they are on discount in DMT, and the high number is the expected cost on regular price. When is the middle grid opened? 500. As soon as you reach 500, the middle grid is open. And then 2k, 4k, 5k, 2k, 3k, 4k, 5k, 6k for the outer rings. If you check ! Legion and you check the link, then you can see all the levels. Also, how many people you can add per level, because it's always 1, except for every level past every 2.5k multiplied. So there's kind of an incongruency here, right? So if this is your mobbing setup, then why is Lightwash here? And if this is your bossing setup, then why are Elven Blessing and Rune persistence here? That's kind of my problem with this, right? That's why this looks really weird to me. Also, like, and why is Spirit of Freedom here? It's kind of, you have kind of a mix equipped here, so this looks like a little bit like a mess. So I don't know what the situation is with your dineros. If you're ever going to be star forcing past 17 on your eye and face, then you want to have some spare dineros there, and it's 250 per equip, so that can go real fast. So keep doing CPQ, solo voyages, keep doing Helix every day for extra pendants, extra belt, and keep doing I would say keep doing normal arc every day to try to get primals. Because one thing I did not see is any Meister gear. So so not the Meister ring, and the potential on your current ring. I think you have it at 17 star, if I remember going. No, you have it at 13. Okay. So there are big gains. High Star Force gear is really big. Simple dailies, work on Legion, at least 6k, and then together with that, link skills. Then daily bosses that help you make gear and get gear, so you can craft Meister, and so you can transfer hammer from 150 to 160. And then number 4 is probably your Mesofarming Kana to start saving up money. Those are the biggest things. And then number 5 is keep an eye out for DMTs and Star Force events, so that you know when to spend your money.